Story number 1, The Gas Station Rule. I worked overnight at a rural gas station for 8 months. Midnight to 8 a.m., completely alone, nothing but highway and woods for miles. The pay was decent, and honestly, most nights were boring. Stock shelves, clean bathrooms, ring up the occasional trucker. Easy money. My manager, Roy, only had 3 rules. 1. Keep the lights on. All of them. Always. 2. Don't go outside after 3 a.m. unless absolutely necessary. 3. If someone asks you to come to the tree line, don't acknowledge them. That third rule seemed weird, but Roy was dead serious about it. Has someone asked you to go to the tree line? I asked during training. He didn't answer directly. Just said, if it happens, pretend you didn't hear. Stay inside. Keep working. It'll go away eventually. For the first 2 months, nothing strange happened. Then, on a Wednesday in October, I learned why we had rules. It was 3:47 a.m. Dead quiet. I was restocking cigarettes when I heard tapping on the window. I looked up. A woman stood outside, just beyond the gas pumps. She was wearing a nightgown, bare feet, wet hair plastered to her face. She was tapping on the window with one finger. Steady. Rhythmic. Tap. 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 I approached the door. Are you okay? Do you need help? She stopped tapping. Tilted her head. Can you come here? She called. Her voice was strange. Flat. I need help. Come to the trees. She pointed behind her. To the tree line, about 50 yards past the parking lot. Rule 3 echoed in my head. I can call someone for you, I said. Police, ambulance, whatever you need. But I can't leave the station. Please, she said. I can't come closer. The lights hurt. Just come to the trees. Just for a minute. Every instinct screamed this was wrong. I'm calling the police, I said, pulling out my phone. Her face changed. The expression dropped completely. Became blank. You're making a mistake, she said in that flat voice. We're so hungry. It's been so long since someone new came. I dialed 911. She turned and walked toward the trees. Not a normal walk, her legs moved wrong, joints bending slightly backward. The 911 operator answered. 911, what's your emergency? There's a woman outside my station acting strange. I think she needs help, but something feels wrong. Location? I gave the address. She's walking toward the woods now. I stopped. She'd reached the tree line. And she wasn't alone. There were others. Standing just inside the shadows where my lights didn't reach. I could see their outlines. 7, 8, maybe more. All watching the station. All perfectly still. Sir? Are you there? There are multiple people in the woods. They are just standing there. Can you describe them? I can't see them clearly. They are in the shadows. But they are all staring at the station. The operator said police were 15 minutes out. Asked me to stay on the line. The figures didn't move. Just stood there. Watching. Then, at exactly 4 a.m., they all turned and walked deeper into the woods. Synchronized. Like a hive mind. Gone. The police arrived 20 minutes later. Searched the woods with flashlights. Found nothing. No footprints, no evidence anyone had been there. Probably just locals messing with you, one officer said. This station has a reputation. What kind of reputation? He exchanged a look with his partner. People see things out here. Always have. You're the 4th overnight worker this year. The others quit. Why didn't anyone tell me that? He shrugged. Hard to keep staff when you lead with the job is haunted. They left. Told me to call if it happened again. I should have quit that night. But I needed the job. Student loans, rent, life. So I stayed. And it happened again. Not the next night. Not even that week. But exactly 1 month later. Same date. 3:47 a.m. Tapping on the window. Different person this time. A man in old-fashioned clothes. 1950s style suit. Same request, come to the trees. Same flat voice. Same backward-bending walk when I refused. Same crowd waiting in the shadows. This became a pattern. Every month. Same time. Different person each time. Old woman. Teenage boy. Middle-aged man in a police uniform. Young girl in a school uniform. All asking me to come to the trees. All walking that wrong way. All joining the others in the shadows. And each month, there were more of them. By month 6, I counted 23 figures in the tree line. I reported it every time. Police found nothing. Started treating me like I was crazy. Maybe you're falling asleep, one suggested. Night shift can mess with your head. But I had proof. I started recording on my phone. Got footage of the woman, the man, the others. When I played it back, the video showed the parking lot. Empty. But the audio captured everything. The tapping. The voices. My responses. And at the end, you could hear them all whispering. Dozens of voices. From the trees. All saying the same thing. He sees us. He hears us. But he won't come. We're so hungry. When can we eat? I showed Roy the footage. He went pale. You need to quit. What are they? I don't know. But this station has been here since 1952. It's never been closed. Never. Someone's always working. Because if the lights go out, if the station is empty, what happens? For years ago, the overnight guy quit without notice. Station was empty for one night. Just one night. Lights off. He pulled out his phone, showed me a news article. Local family of 4 missing after highway trip. They stopped for gas here. Security footage shows them pulling in at 3:52 a.m. Getting out of their car. Then the footage cuts out for 3 minutes. When it comes back, the car is empty. They were never found. Jesus Christ, Roy. Why is this station still open? Because as long as someone's here, as long as the lights are on, whatever's in those woods stays there. The station is like a barrier. But it needs to be manned. It needs light. It needs life. That's insane. You think I like this? I've been trying to sell this place for 10 years. No one will buy it. The land is worthless. There's something wrong with the ground itself. I quit the next day. Roy understood. Even gave me a good reference. He hired a new overnight worker within a week. College kid. Didn't tell him the truth. I felt guilty but told myself it wasn't my problem anymore. Last night, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered. Come to the trees. It was the woman's voice. The first one I'd seen. We waited for you. Every month. You saw us. You heard us. That means you're connected now. You're part of the pattern. I don't work there anymore, I said. Doesn't matter. You were there during the hungry hours. You witnessed us. That creates a link. Leave me alone. We can't. You're tied to the station now. To the woods. To us. I hung up. Blocked the number. This morning, I looked out my apartment window. Across the street, standing on the sidewalk, was the woman from the gas station. Still in her nightgown. Still wet. She waved. Behind her, barely visible in the early morning light, were the others. All 23 of them. Standing in a line. Watching my building. I live in the city now. 200 miles from that station. But distance doesn't matter. Because the trees aren't just at the gas station. They are everywhere. And once you acknowledge what lies in them, they know where to find you. Last night, I heard tapping on my window. I live on the 14th floor. Story number 2, the 4th floor. I'm a registered nurse. Worked at St. Catherine's Hospital for 3 years on the night shift, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. St. Catherine's is old. Built in 1923. 7 floors. Or so we tell patients. In reality, there are 8 floors. But the 4th floor doesn't exist on any official building plan. Let me explain. The elevator has buttons for floors 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and B, basement. No button for 4. The stairwell skip it too, you walk from the 3rd floor landing directly to the 5th. But if you count the windows from outside, there are clearly 8 floors. We all knew about it. It was an open secret among staff. The 4th floor existed, but it had been closed for decades. Sealed off. Condemned. Asbestos, some said. Structural damage, others claimed. It's haunted as fuck, was the general consensus among night shift nurses. During my orientation, my supervisor, Linda, gave me the unofficial rules. If the elevator stops on 4, don't get off. If you hear sounds from above the 3rd floor or below the 5th, ignore them. If a patient tells you they were taken to the 4th floor for tests, check them for confusion. Has anyone ever been on the 4th floor? I asked. Linda's expression hardened. Not in my 20 years here. And we're keeping it that way. For 2 years, I followed the rules. Never had a problem. Then we got a new patient. Mr. Brennan. 78. Dementia. Fell at home, broken hip, recovering from surgery. He was on the 5th floor. My floor. Sweet old man, mostly. But confused. Would wake up disoriented, try to leave, typical dementia behavior. One night, around 2 a.m., I did my rounds. Checked his room. Empty. Bed was messed up like he'd gotten out. His floor had been disconnected, carefully, not ripped out. Someone who knew what they were doing. I checked the bathroom. The common area. Asked other nurses. No one had seen him. We initiated our missing patient protocol. Searched every floor. Called security. Nothing. He'd vanished. At 4:47 a.m., I was at the nurse's station filing the incident report when the elevator dinged. The doors opened. Mr. Brennan stood inside. Hospital gown. Bare feet. Staring straight ahead. Mr. Brennan. Where have you been? He didn't respond. Didn't even blink. I approached him. Sir, you okay? He finally looked at me. His eyes were wrong. Dilated. Glassy. They were very kind, he said softly. Very thorough. The nurse is on the 4th floor. My blood went cold. Mr. Brennan, there is no 4th floor. Yes, there is. I was just there. They ran tests. Very old equipment. Very old nurses. He smiled. They said I could come back any time. I got him back to his room. Checked his vitals. Everything normal. No signs of injury. But on his arm, where his forearm had been, there was a new puncture wound. Someone had inserted a needle. Recently. The site was clean, professional. I reported it to Linda. She went pale. Did he say anything else? I told her everything. She made me write it down. Then locked the report in her desk. Don't talk about this, she said. Not to other nurses. Not to security. No one. But someone accessed him. Someone medical. We need to. I said drop it. I didn't drop it. That night, after my shift, I stayed late. Waited until the hospital was as empty as it gets, around 5 a.m. Then I went to the stairwell. I walked from the 3rd floor up. Counted the steps. Between the 3rd and 5th floors, there should be one landing, one flight of stairs. But if you count carefully, there are 2 flights. And between them, hidden behind what looks like a wall, there's a door. Painted the same color as the walls. No handle on the stairwell side. Just a smooth surface. But there's a keyhole. I tried the door. Locked, obviously. I put my ear against it. I heard something. Voices. Faint. Talking. Medical terminology. A heart monitor beeping. Someone was in there. The 4th floor wasn't abandoned. It was active. I took a photo of the door and left. The next night, Mr. Brennan was gone again. Same pattern. Disappeared around 2 a.m. Returned around 4:47 a.m. This time, he had multiple puncture wounds. Arms, neck, inner thigh. The tests, he said dreamily. So many tests. They are very interested in me. They say I'm a good candidate. Candidate for what? He smiled. The 4th floor is where you go when you're between. Not alive enough for the living floors. Not dead enough for the morgue. In between. They help you decide. He died 3 days later. Natural causes, officially. Heart failure. But I saw his body before they took him to the morgue. He had incision marks. Recent. Surgical. Someone had operated on him. Not in our OR. We had no record of any procedures. I checked the elevator footage from the nights he disappeared. The recordings showed him getting on the elevator. The elevator going up. Stopping. Doors opening. And Mr. Brennan stepping out into what should have been an empty shaft. But the camera showed a hallway. Dimly lit. Old tile. 1920s architecture. And nurses. In vintage uniforms. White dresses, old-fashioned caps. They greeted Mr. Brennan warmly. Took his arm. Led him down the hall. The footage cut out after that. I showed Linda. She watched in silence. Then deleted the file. You don't understand what you're looking at, she said. Then explain it to me. St. Catherine's was a teaching hospital in the 1920s. They did experimental surgeries. Pushed boundaries. Some patients survived. Many didn't. The 4th floor was where they did the work they couldn't do legally. That was 100 years ago. The floor was sealed in 1931 after a scandal. 22 patients died in 1 month. Experiments gone wrong. The hospital almost shut down. They sealed the floor, scrubbed it from records, moved on. But someone's still there. Linda looked at me with exhausted eyes. The nurses who worked that floor, they never left. They died there during a fire in 1931. Trapped on the 4th floor. 37 staff members burned alive. You're saying ghosts are operating on patients. I'm saying whatever is on that floor doesn't follow the rules of our world. Time works differently there. They are still doing their work. Still running their experiments. And certain patients, they can access it. Why? Patients who are close to death. Whose grip on this world is weak. They slip between. The 4th floor exists in that in-between space. And the nurses there are still trying to save them. Using techniques from 1931. They don't understand that medicine has changed. That their methods are outdated. Harmful. We have to stop this. We can't. The floor isn't here, not really. It's adjacent. Sometimes it overlaps with our world. Mostly during the early morning hours. The hours between night and day. Between life and death. I quit the next week. But it didn't matter. because 3 months later, I was in a car accident. Bad one. Internal bleeding. Touch and go. I woke up in a hospital bed. The room was wrong. Old equipment. Old lights. A nurse approached. Vintage uniform. Kind smile. Welcome to the 4th floor, she said gently. We've been expecting you. You've visited us before, haven't you? You remember. I tried to speak. Couldn't. Don't worry. We're going to run some tests. We're very thorough here. We don't lose patients. She inserted an 4. The needle was huge. Glass syringe. Antique. You might feel some discomfort. Our methods are older. But effective. You'll see. Other nurses gathered around. All smiling. All from another era. She's a good candidate, one said. Yes, another agreed. Young. Strong. She'll survive the procedures. I tried to scream. Now, the first nurse soothed. You're in the best hands. We've been doing this for nearly a century. We know exactly how to help you. They wheeled me down a hallway. Through windows, I could see other rooms. Other patients. Strapped to tables. Connected to machines that didn't exist anymore. All of them screaming silently. Don't worry, the nurse whispered. The procedures only hurt for the first few decades. Then you get used to it. Then you become part of the floor. And then you get to help us. We always need more nurses. I woke up in a regular hospital room. Modern equipment. Regular nurses. You're awake, a nurse said, relieved. You gave us quite a scare. You were out for 3 days. I looked at my arms. Puncture wounds. Dozens of them. Old needle marks. Fresh. What happened to me? I asked. The nurse checked my chart. Car accident. You were in critical condition. We almost lost you. But you pulled through. Where was I? Which floor? ICU. 5th floor. Not the 4th. Her smile faltered. There is no 4th floor. But I know better. Because every night, at exactly 2 a.m., I wake up. And I can hear them. The nurses on the 4th floor. Discussing my case. Planning my next visit. They say I'm not done yet. They say I'll be back. Everyone comes back to the 4th floor eventually. It's just a matter of time. And lately, I've been feeling sick. Dizzy. Weak. My doctor can't find anything wrong. But I know what's happening. I'm becoming in between again. And when I am, the 4th floor will be waiting. Story number 3, room 214 is always empty. I worked as a night auditor at the Riverside Hotel for 2 years. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., alone at the front desk, handling late check-ins and paperwork. The hotel was nice. Built in 1967, renovated in 2015. 4 floors. 83 rooms. Except we only ever sold 82. Room 214 was always marked out of service in our system. During training, my manager, Patricia, was clear, room 214 is never, under any circumstances, to be sold. Don't ask why. Just follow the rule. Is it damaged? No. Haunted? She gave me a look. Just don't rent it. Don't even mention it exists. Every night, I'd see it on my screen. Room 214. Out of service. For 6 months, I followed the rule without question. Then we had a full house. Conference in town, every hotel booked solid. Around 1 a.m., a couple came in. Desperate. Their reservation at another hotel had fallen through. Please, the woman begged. We've been driving for 12 hours. Everywhere is booked. Don't you have anything? I checked the system. Completely full. Except for 214. I have one room, I said slowly. But it's out of service. What's wrong with it? I don't know. I'm not supposed to rent it. Is it clean? I assume so. Then please. We'll take it. We don't care. I shouldn't have done it. But they were exhausted. And technically, the room existed. It was clean, furnished, functional. What harm could one night do? I checked them in. Gave them the key to 214. Thank you so much, the man said. You're a lifesaver. They went upstairs. I immediately felt uneasy. Called Patricia's cell. No answer. Left a voicemail confessing what I'd done. Then I waited. An hour passed. Nothing. Maybe the rule was outdated. Maybe there was no actual reason to keep it empty. At 3:14 a.m., the phone at the desk rang. I answered. Front desk, how can I help you? Heavy breathing. Hello? Room 214, a woman's voice whispered. Why is someone in room 214? I'm sorry, who is this? You broke the rule. You let them in. Now they can't leave. The line went dead. I immediately called room 214. No answer. I called again. And again. On the fourth try, someone picked up. Hello? It was the woman who'd checked in. But her voice was strange. Distant. Is everything okay? I asked. Silence. There's someone else in the room, she whispered. What? Did someone break in? I'll call. No. They were already here. In the bathroom. Standing in the corner. Facing the wall. My stomach dropped. Get out of the room. Now. Come to the lobby. We tried. The door won't open. The handle turns but the door won't open. I'll be right up. I grabbed the master key and ran to the second floor. Room 214 was at the end of the hall. The lights near it were flickering. I knocked. It's the front desk. I'm opening the door. I used the master key. The lock clicked. But the door wouldn't open. Something was blocking it from the inside. Not physically, it felt like resistance. Like the room itself didn't want to open. I pushed harder. The door flew open suddenly, and I stumbled inside. The room was empty. No guests. No luggage. Bed perfectly made. Like no one had ever been there. Hello? I called. No response. I checked the bathroom. Empty. Checked the closet. Empty. But on the bed, there were 2 indentations in the comforter. Like 2 people had been sitting there. And the air was freezing. My breath came out in clouds. I heard water running. The bathroom sink had turned on by itself. I went to turn it off. In the mirror, I saw something. Standing behind me. A figure. Blurry. Indistinct. I spun around. Nothing there. Back to the mirror. The figure was closer now. I ran out of the room. Slammed the door. Called Patricia again. This time she answered. I told you never to rent that room, she said coldly. There were people in there. A couple. Now they're gone. No, they are not. They are still there. They are just not here anymore. What does that mean? She sighed. In 1982, a couple stayed in room 214. Newlyweds. They checked in late. No one saw them after that. Housekeeping found the room empty the next day, but their car was still in the parking lot. Their luggage was gone. They were never found. That doesn't explain. It happened again in 1991. Different couple. Same story. Checked into 214, disappeared overnight. Jesus Christ, Patricia. After that, the owners sealed the room. Changed the policy. Never rent it. Because anyone who stays in 214 doesn't check out. They just vanish. Where do they go? I don't know. But the room isn't empty. It's full. Full of everyone who's ever stayed there. They are all still in there. Trapped. Somewhere we can't see. I looked at the door. Room 214. What do I do? Mark it out of service again. Lock the door. Never speak of this. But those people are gone. And if you try to help them, you'll end up there too. She hung up. I marked the room out of service. Locked it with the master key. Walked away. But I could hear something. From inside the room. Voices. Multiple voices. Talking. Crying. Arguing. All layered over each other. Dozens of voices. From 30 years of missing guests. All trapped in room 214. I quit the next week. The hotel is still operating. Room 214 is still marked out of service. But last month, I got a call from an unknown number. I answered. Why did you leave us here? It was the woman's voice. The one I checked in. I didn't mean to. We're still in the room. We've been here for 6 months. Please. You have to get us out. I don't know how. Come back. Come to 214. Open the door. Let us out. I can't. If I open it. Please. There are so many of us. It's so crowded. They keep arriving. Every night, new people. The room gets smaller. We can't breathe. Please. I hung up. Blocked the number. But the calls keep coming. Different numbers. Always at 3:14 a.m. Always voices from room 214. Begging to be let out. Last night, I woke up at 3:14 a.m. Not from a phone call. From a sound outside my apartment. I looked through the peephole. Someone was standing in my hallway. The woman from that night. Still wearing the same clothes. She knocked softly. Please, she said. You have to come back. You have to finish what you started. You opened the door. That makes you part of it now. I didn't answer. She stood there for an hour. Then disappeared. But this morning, I found something slipped under my door. A hotel key card. Room 214. And a note. Your reservation is waiting. Check-in, 3:14 a.m. Check-out, never. I haven't slept since. Because every mirror in my apartment now shows the same thing. A hotel room. Room 214. Full of people. All staring at me. All reaching toward the glass. And every night, the reflection gets clearer. Like the barrier between here and there is getting thinner. Patricia was right. Room 214 is never empty. It's full. And it's always looking for more guests. Asterisk asterisk, end, asterisk asterisk.